Hey. So this is a really good movie. I don't really get all the negativity on this. The movie took a massive hit just coming out. It didn't even have like this afternoon showtime. I think it's like just coming out like it's like a train that derailed before it even started moving. Really, the show times at first were just at 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock or around there. And then the IMAX, which is an IMAX 3D, was split between Spider Man and this, which I find was ridiculous. You should have had this like completely only in like the only movie in IMAX, but it split it with Spider Man, which I haven't seen a movie split in IMAX that often. Usually, one movie comes in and takes the whole IMAX. Just like now, I think it's only Aquaman playing in IMAX. But you could only go to IMAX 2, I think, at like 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock too. And then the next week, they dropped the show to like only a 10:30 showtime. And this is like, and I think they took out the IMAX completely. And this is like $100 million movie, and they're killing it with only like a 10:30 showtime on its second week out. And they took out, I think, the IMAX 3D showing, which they spent a ton of money on. I think putting out the movie in IMAX 3D. Seems really harsh that they did that. And then if that happens, it's got to be a terrible movie, and it's not. It's not fair what they did at all to this movie. But finally, I got to that late show time, and I really didn't want to watch it. Because like all the negativity around it, so I was even thinking of like going to Aquaman instead. Before I even went into the movie, I was thinking like this is gonna be terrible, and like bracing myself for being like really bad. Like this is gonna be really, really bad, and maybe I'll have to walk out or something. It's crazy like what this publicity can kind of do to a movie. Even like when the movie started, I was just like thinking about like being ready to walk out. But then as it got going and started up, I noticed like wow, like this movie's actually good. Started off like showing this like new world of this like moving city, these moving cities, something I like never saw in another movie or ever before, and the movie kind of just kept like bringing on like new things. The acting was really good, apart from some like weak parts in the story, maybe a bit too much action in places, and a soundtrack that's not that good. The movie kind of worked a bit of magic in there, which I found surprising. The whole time, like, the movie was going, new things were happening too. The acting was good with like most of the actors unknown, but you can tell that's what was like good about the movie, is that you haven't seen a lot of the people before, especially the lead, this Hera, was like amazing. And then you had this Hugo Weaving, which kind of gave you the good stew, and then that Tom was good as well. The movies about this or the movies like kind of like this, to sum it up, it's about these moving cities that fight each other to survive, and then this Hugo Weaving gets like this deadly weapon, and he kind of takes over one of the cities, London, to try to destroy the world. While the rest of the people out there try and stop him, and everything's kind of at stake. It was like a really interesting new story that I haven't heard of. And it's based off like this book too. I think there's a book series about it. The main thing I didn't like was the soundtrack. It wasn't like very good at all. It wasn't fine tuned like some of the other movies, like this, like say Harry Potter, seemed kind of blunt, and I think that really made like a huge difference here. Of a lot of people saying that it wasn't a good movie. You throw like a good soundtrack into this, and you probably have a really good movie. For a lot of people, just listening through the movie isn't that great, which is like a huge deal breaker. And of course, there's maybe too much focus on the action, and combined with the bad music, it wasn't that good. And why was there so much action? They're kind of making up for some of the lack of depth in the story. It seemed like a lot of the story was skipped over. I haven't read the books, but it's hard to say how much they fit in here. Especially like there was these fighting parts where this Hugo Weaving got in like fights with like other big people, and there wasn't like any intro into like the fight scenes. You just kind of got into the fight scenes, and then they happened quick, and that was it. They really didn't go for like these really like memorable moments with like memorable lines, which you see in some of the other big movies. Now that like I remember too, the actors were good like kind of separately, but I'm not like sure they had like a really good chemistry. There was like kind of a fun missing between them. Like there's this fun just seeing in Star Wars when Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill got together. It was just it was fun to see them together. It didn't matter what they were doing. They were just like it was just fun to have them together. And it was like they were there to have fun, and that kind of chemistry was like completely missing in this one. It seemed like everyone was kind of on their own, and the parts just didn't add up and like fuse together. But in the end, it was kind of an enjoyable movie. I mean, like, what other fantasy movies can you see out there like this? There's not that many out there. If you can just like not take this movie too seriously, not overthink it, then you can like it. But it's not bad like people are saying. It looks like they wanted to make a series out of this too, but the way tickets are going or have gone, there probably isn't going to be another one, which is kind of sad. Seems like the marketing killed this movie. The studio that brought this out, I think they aren't like a superhero studio. They didn't do like this superhero marketing, and I think they just kind of let like this negativity take hold and drown the movie completely. And it just shows you like the power of marketing. What can happen if you don't do like the right marketing for a movie. And I think the movie really suffered because of that. Like, you could have the best superhero movie, and if you don't do good marketing, if people see a lot of negativity around it, they might not go see it, and then and something like this could happen to it. So they really kind of weren't that great on the marketing, and I think they let that get out of hand. They should have done a better job on that too. What I saw in the movie too was they wrap like a lot of stuff up in this movie, kind of left some loose ends just in case there's another one or more. But it didn't. It's hard to say what's gonna happen. It would have been really good too if they put some more work into this movie. It would have been nice to have a few more of them, but I guess that's just how it goes for now. Who knows? They might say, okay, we'll do another one. It's hard to see where this one lands in a few months' time. But that was pretty much it. And check out my other videos and subscribe.